What's going on, everybody? Darby here with the MarketSauce weekly office hours. We are kicking things today. We will work through some questions related to MarketSauce and some demonstrations. What's going on, Ree? See, Ivy's joining us as well.
Yeah, we don't mind. Just staying here to learn and a little bit of walk.
Cool. Yeah, kind of format for these calls is open floor. If there's any pressing questions on y'all's end for anything MarketSauce related.
I'm actually more excited about the one that you're doing in an hour or so. First,
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Got a new tool in the MarketSauce Studio that will help with that execution. So that'll be a good deep dive for sure. Curious, have you been working with OpenAI's Operator at all? Have you had a chance to dive into that?
it's one of my tabs that has been open and I've been wanting to. So I think you're doing a training on that?
It's not going to be specifically on Operator, but
Yeah.
I did find a way to use Operator in conjunction with MarketSauce that I thought was pretty cool. If you're interested in seeing kind of a first look at it, I'd be happy to demonstrate it.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. I mean, this call is recorded, right? So I'm sure other people would find value in it. So
Yeah,
thank you.
for sure. So basically, for those of you who haven't had a chance to check out Operator or know what it is, go Google ChatGPT Pro and Operator. It's their $200 a month plan right now. Eventually, they'll roll it out to other plans, but for now, you need to be on the Pro plan, which is $200 a month, and it has the ability to take over your screen and execute tasks. And there's a lot of different use cases that I'm seeing pop up with it. And one thing that I've thought was interesting, and last night I just started playing with it with the MarketSauce portal to see how could we get these tools to communicate and work together, basically to do what I'm already doing manually in a lot of these cases, or someone may be doing manually throughout the process. And so what I thought was interesting was taking the Operator and then using it to generate blueprints, and then using those blueprints as the content base for generating full like gamma reports, like PDFs that are branded or have a lot more design to them than just a typical Google document, which is how the MarketSauce reports are generated currently. So you can do a lot with them just being a basic Google Doc, but they don't really look sexy or branded or anything like that. And so it's easy to use as a baseline for content, but how do we make it look a little bit nicer and do that without having to do a lot more work at the same time? Can we get AI to help us with that? So Reed, and when I was going through this, I was thinking like one of the things that has come up a lot over the past year from people that are using these reports is like, oh, this is great. Can you make one that looks like better? Not everyone says that.
You mean?
Yeah, not everyone says that. Some people like the fact that they're just Google documents, so you can read them, print them out. Like it's a Google document, and it's pretty straightforward, and all the information is there. But then, what does the perceived value look like if you turn it into something that's like a beautiful PDF that has some graphics with it? And depending on the deliverable and how you're presenting it to a client, there's a lot of value in the presentation of this information and being able to walk somebody through it. So I'm going to share my screen and go
Hey, Darby, real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick, just for Ivy, I have it on my screen, but one sentence overview on why someone would use Operator.
Someone would use Operator to help with executing manual tasks back and forth or interacting with a screen and executing something on your behalf. So if I wanted to, hey, Operator, copy and paste this text and then go and upload it and edit it in a document, Operator can go and execute that task. And we've seen people saying, okay, Operator, go and write code for this website and write the code that could generate this website image for me. And it'll do that for you. And then it'll reason and it will take steps autonomously to a degree. Sometimes, and what you will see here is that it'll have stop points where it requires you to add your own information or approve like a login. It won't take payments. It won't execute like stock trades or things like that, but it can do a number of things on your behalf. And a lot of the stuff that I've been trying to figure out how to use it most immediately is the stuff that I'm already doing that's already repetitive in my process, to just not require me to sit around and press the same buttons again and again if I can do it an easier way. I'm going to go, and this is the first time I've demonstrated this with anybody live, so it's not going to be like, it might not be like the sexiest flow right out the gate, but what I'm hoping to demonstrate through what I'll share with you right now is one where I think the agents are going and how like tools and services are going to be operating more as we see more and more agents out there is like agents are going to be very task oriented, but how effectively can another agent communicate with your agent to then help with executing a task? And a good example of this might be the MarketSauce 9000 automations that we have that create the 10-page buyer blueprints. It's still a manual process. If you were to go through the, like we did last week, we went through the whole entire MarketSauce buyer's brief book, or how to go through and start to, if you were to want to execute each one of those prompts. We've created a lot of automations that do that for you, but there's still management involved in this process. I'm going to share my screen now. And so you can see here, and if you can't see it, let me know, but this is an account that I have set up that is on the pro tier. So I have operator in the left-hand corner. You can see I have my typical ChatGPT, but I want to open up operator. Yeah. So I'm going to open up operator, and now I have the ability to basically ask it to do something in line with, let me see. I won't do the found money just yet because we're going to be doing the workshop on that. Not the found money, the first domino, but I will go through like the blueprint process inside of our MarketSauce studio and demonstrate that. So what I'm going to do is give my instruction to operator. And I want to be thinking when I'm doing this, what's like the ultimate outcome that I'm going for here? Okay. So I'm going to say, I want you to go to studio.marketsauce.ai and generate a quantum mentalist report for my client who is a home service walk-in hot tub installation provider. We want to generate this report in MarketSauce Studio to get a detailed understanding of who their target audience is, and then go to portal.marketsauce.ai and create a new blueprint order under our MarketSauce competitor research campaign that will create a 10-page blueprint report based on this. Once that report is generated completely in the portal, I want you to go to my Gamma and create a super comprehensive go-to-market research report that is 50-page long and builds on top of the blueprint so I can review and then make my own edits and present to my clients. Quite the prompt. Super, super not cool. Like all the buildup that I just did there is completely flopped. It's like AI is getting AI. A client-side exception has occurred. Okay, let me see if it saved that prompt at least. Okay, perfect. So we're still working on it. All right, so it just had a little timeout. So you see what I gave it for the first instruction. It worked a little bit, and now what it's doing is it's controlling, it has a browser in here, and it's to access the quantum mentalist report, I need a login. Can you please provide the login credentials? So it has these human in the loop set like steps where you just need to like add your login information, or hey, I can't take, I need to, if you needed to buy a credit, for example, from MarketSauce, it's not just going to go do that with your credit card. But I am going to just log in. And once you log into the Google account through this, it'll like a lot of times every time I've done it, it's asked for verification. And so I just need to like basically verify that this is me doing it. Go ahead and click continue. And so now we see we're inside of the portal, and I still have control. And so what I need to do now is say finish up. I'm just going to say logged in. And now I'm giving the reins back to the operator. So it opened up the Quantum Mentalist. I gave it a blurb about my content brief. I need a website link or document related to the client's goals. I don't know. Let me see. Hot tub installation service, Austin, Texas. #1 hot tub store. Same day, Austin Plumbing. The Hot Tub Man. Refurbished spas, Austin Spas and Pools. I'm just going to grab one of these for example. Actually, that's cool. Hot tub installation. Hot tub. I'm going to do this. Texas Hot Tub Man. All right, cool. What's up, Texas Hot Tub Man? Cool. Let's just use this website. And so if you had a client website you were doing this for and wanted to analyze it, create a report based on it and all that stuff, or a report, you'd want to provide that information right out the gate. Like I could have added that into here and that would have alleviated the need for that step. But you see what it's doing now. I need more information, right? So more information about the target audience and goals. So the target audience for this campaign is hot tub installation for people with parents who are elderly and need an easier, safer way to get in the hot tub. And as we always talk about with AI, the input and the context you're providing it is critical here. And so if you've done your homework and your due diligence beforehand, and you're not just making this up on the spot, then you already have a client and you've already got information on hand that you'd want to feed into Operator in that first prompt. And so it's asking, okay, cool, I've got information. The target audience is individuals with elderly parents, primary, and see how it's answering the prompts, provide detailed information. It's like structuring its input here based on what I gave it, but in a way that is just articulating that to the mentalist. So now what it's doing, as you can see, it's now allegedly generating that report from in here. So it's still doing the work. I think that re-entered the information. Yeah. So generate the report. Yeah.
Do we stay in Operator? So we're still in Operator, right? But it's just making.
Yeah. It's got a Chrome browser open and it's going and scanning through its own Chrome browser and then executing this information. So it's basically taking my directions from here and then it's going and handling it inside of the screen. One reason I think this is really cool, like regardless of this demonstration, is all of this can happen over here, which is stuff that like needs to get pushed forward and like I've done manually countless times at this point. I could just have this open on one screen and then I could be like doing something else on another screen and it's still going to keep working. And so while it's generating these outputs, I'm just like monitoring it and basically making sure that it's following along. Refreshing page, trying resubmission process.
Does it continue to work if your computer's off, or does it need to stay on?
No, it's not now. It's not 100% autonomous like that. I imagine there's going to be ways where people have these things. I think my internet's tripping out right now. I just got a thing that I'm offline on one of my screens. So I've re-entered. Yeah, see, it's just, okay. Still a little finicky. Like a lot of this is the direction that agents are going. And so I think it's only going to get better from here. Not perfect, but
Which is the first agent is operator in response to some of the other agents that are out there, or is this like sort of the top of the line?
yeah, right. I think this is the first one that I've seen that doesn't require you to need to know how to piece together one of these types of things like all by yourself. It just kind of goes and does it for you and runs with it. Claude is coming out with something similar here. This thing is being really annoying right now. It's not entering or executing the information. Take the content brief and do this same thing in the MarketSauce Revolution. Like at this point, it would have taken me less time to just do it myself. But even with Anthropic and Claude, is that they came out with something a few weeks ago that was like, oh, you can have it operate and browse on your computer or manage the screens and execute tasks. And I think this is the direction you're going to see pretty much every AI company go over the course of this year, is making it easier for you to build out your own agentic workflows like this. But it was doing this an hour before we got on this call. So just trying to figure out.
I believe you.
I wonder if it's like timing out or something because of the document upload. Catching for generated report up max digital. Okay, cool. So it's doing it now if you can see that read in Ivy. So took a minute, but now it's generating the next report and it generated and copied all that content. I didn't see it copy it, but remember from my command, I told it to take the report from there and then go into the MarketSauce portal. So now I need to retake control over my screen and log in. So I'm going to add my MarketSauce credentials here. And obviously, to execute any of these reports, you need credits. So you need to have those purchased prior to it being able to run it. But now we're inside of our portal. And I'm like, okay, I know I got an idea who this target audience is. I want to create a full 10-page blueprint that I would use. And I would use this at the very start of helping a client understand who their target audience like really is, if they're not 100% clear, or if we make hot tubs for everyone. It's like, okay, great. Who's the best client that you work with? Oh, it's this type of person, right? And whatever segment that is, you can create a blueprint for. Now that we're in this, I logged in. I just told it, okay, cool, here's my login. It's taking control now. So now it's inside of my report. You can see all the other orders. It went up to create. It went to, and now, so now it's here. I told it to do the MarketSauce campaign. Yeah, and so which company? I'm going to say MarketSauce. And so it's going to select that company. And it's going to ask about a campaign right here, even though I already told it. Oh, I see. I did tell it, and it went through that. So it did competitor research. And now all of this, the prompt here for the human, the AI is still analyzing that. And then it's giving kind of the content brief from our initial information. Might be a little redundant going to the studio to do the revolution if it's just coming up with that initial brief. But once you're like there, if you've already got the content brief written out, or if you need help with it, that's where the AI can help with coming up with the content brief and scanning the website. And so it's done that. Gave it the website, gave it the context. And so you can see here, it just submitted it. And now at the very top line, you can see the orders in process. And so as you guys have gone through the order process, what's going on right now is all of the automations in our MarketSauce system to create that first blueprint. So that 10-page report. So that's cooking right now. And so when I tried to get it to do something else while I was waiting, it was like, I can't do that. And so I don't know. It's probably just going to refresh and chill for the time of that report getting generated. So you just need to give it a few minutes here and wait for the report. And then once that report is ready, you can go in, take the report, and then go do whatever the next thing is for this. And I'm going to use Gamma as the demonstration for creating the report in a presentation form or something that's a little bit more branded, looks a little bit nicer than a Google document. But I imagine if you have any other like software platform that would help you with customizing or generating reports, if it has the AI features and integrations like Gamma does, it may be able to accomplish something similar. I'll let you test it out on your own with whatever tool you're using. Like I don't use any other like AI presentation services besides Gamma. They are a sponsor of us at Gen AI University, so big fan of Gamma and what it can do. But I imagine if you used a tool to go high level for like landing pages, for example, if Operator is able to access and manage like building landing pages and that sort of thing inside of Go High Level, if it's able to access and tap into the ability to create emails and workflows, I just haven't tested all this yet. But you could take content that you're creating throughout the operator and then have it go and build out pages or set up email sequences for you, that sort of thing.
So just obviously there's a lot that goes into it, but you're saying that eventually we can feed it all create all the content and then have it turn it into a landing page in VHL.
I think so. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't see why it wouldn't, unless Go High Level was like had something where they blocked Operator from using it.
But ostensibly that could be something that what Operator would do or could do, or where we're heading there.
Yeah, and I don't use Go High Level actively right now. I have in the past, and so I like it can do landing pages, it can do email setup, it can do all these different things. The reason I'm demonstrating this with Gamma is just that's what I use for like making presentations, making like quick one-page landing pages, that sort of thing. But and maybe we'll test this out after this if we have time on today's call. Like I use Beehive for our newsletter. Like I would want to see, and part of my testing of this and just figuring out where this tool is going to be able to work well and where it's just, okay, we'll just keep doing it ourselves. Oh, I just wrote a newsletter about something that I want to send out to a segment of our list in our email list. Like, can it log into my Beehive account, set up a market segment, set up an email campaign, schedule it to go out and send it? Like, I think it could. I just haven't tested it yet. But I think that's the direction that we're going, which is where you have these really clearly defined workflows and like SOPs. Operators are going to be able to help executing a lot of those.
Cool. Thank you.
I'm going to say, should I proceed? Refresh. Because like last time I tried to have it do another task while it was doing this task, it was like, nah, fam, I can't do that. And if I'm asking it to refresh, waiting for the order processing to complete. Okay, it just refreshed the screen. It's still in process. So now I just told it to go back to the portal, and you can see the report at the very top on January 30th is complete. So would you like me to open it now? Yes, open it. So I don't know what you charge a client to do a creator brief or a strategic brief or however you operate on that from if that's like a one-time thing when someone works with you or whatever it is that you're helping them at the foundation of a campaign. But I'm sure that you have some sort of like presentation that you walk them through, that you have the strategy session or however your process might be. This is obviously getting us the blueprint, which you can see it's scanning. This blueprint could turn into a number of different things, right? Like our full buyer's brief, like we talk about in the book. What I want it to do for the demonstration right now is actually copy and upload this entire document into my Gamma to generate a full report. So that's not. No, I want you to copy the entire report and then create a Gamma document from it. Report is already copied. Okay, yeah, so it already copied the report. Say yes, please proceed. Copying report contents to the clipboard. So now you see it opened up another tab. So now we're on Gamma. It's clicking through Gamma. It should go to paste in text. Now it should paste the text in. Just pasted that in. And it selected document. Right? I could generate a website. I could generate a presentation. But since there's a lot of content here that we want to turn into a document, and for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm saying I want to take this report and I want to turn it into a nice, pretty branded PDF. And what I noticed yesterday was that using the blueprint that I was generating in the same way that I'm doing this right now, I'm going to take control because it's going on and continuing to execute it right now. But what I thought was interesting was I gave it the initial blueprint. So it's generating it. I'm going to go back before I do this. View source prompts. I want to make sure and see how many pages it told it to generate. Because that's Gamma recently updated their ability to generate up to 60 cards on their Pro plan. And this was just 8 cards, which isn't going to even house all of those pieces of information. But if I have it selected on preserve, I'm just going to pump these numbers up real quick. Let's just call it 60 cards. And what it ended up doing was it took the blueprint and then it just kept going. And so I was just like watching it. I was like, oh, how long? I guess this is going to go all 60 pages. And it kept coming up with additional things that weren't in the blueprint, but were relevant to the blueprint, like related to the marketing strategy. And so it was coming up with that stuff. If I wanted to select a theme, I could select a custom theme or a standard theme right here. And so if you had your own client, like branded one you'd want to set that up first here. You could select it.
That's cool. We can just add in the client's colors, theme, etc.
Yes.
Cool.
It took me like maybe 5 minutes to make this Hang app MVP, for example. I just took an existing standard theme and then I customized it. So very quick to get that set up. And you can customize it a little bit more. And you do it once and then you're good. So now I'm going to click generate. And like just being real, if someone's, oh yeah, can you make this a branded PDF and go and do and recreate all this stuff in Canva? I'm like, I could, but I'm not going to spend 2 hours doing that. Maybe if you want to pay me more to go and do that as part of the service, or you just have your own team do it. But this is still the hot tub man. So if I'm like trying to pitch the hot tub man on why they should work with me, we're going to help you identify and create campaigns around your best target audience. Oh, everyone says that. No, I put together this report that's going to walk you through all the messaging that we're going to use to create like a killer offer for your best target audience. Oh, that's cool. Cool. Let's check this report out. And so it's just taking all the contents from that blueprint we generated and making it out. Yeah, right. It's making it look a lot easier to consume, right?
I'm not that same. Is that like Adobe or Canva? Is that what Gamma is?
Yeah. No, I don't know. I love Gamma. They just make it easy to do this type of stuff, get things out there. Like I use Canva for certain types of content that I'm creating. It has a little bit more control over the design elements in Canva. I don't use Adobe. But Gamma just came out with a social posting ability too. And so they're definitely up there on the content generation game and making content branded.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I use Canva heavily as well. And alongside it, just for different things and quick edits and certain things. But for the workshop that I'm going to do today, I created that presentation in Gamma. And once the outline and everything was ready, Gamma just turned it into a quick presentation. And then that'll be the structure for the workshop. But here it's just watch and enjoy the ride. And we're coming up to the top of the hour, in 5-10 minutes or so. We'll be wrapping things up. And this will just keep going for a whole 60 pages worth. And I don't know if that's 60 individual slides, but it's breaking these up into each individual section. So this would be applicable to whatever sort of framework you have for presenting market research or a marketing campaign or a strategy.
Exactly what I was looking for. So thank you.
Perfect. Love to hear that. What I like about it, even just generating one of these blueprints out like this, especially for reviewing with a client, like it's breaking it up in a way that's going to be a lot easier on the eyes to walk through each section. And once we're done with this, we can edit the Gamma to just remove or move different slides around. We could add our own images, you could add buttons, and you can make it more interactive. But Gamma is already saving so much time for so many people on creating just presentations in general. The amount of time that it would take me to manually go through a blueprint and copy and paste it and build out a slide deck in PowerPoint or Keynote, like, no, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, for sure.
Or like anyone on your team, like Ivy, for example, get this process going, and Operator's helping me with this. But all of this could have been done without Operator too, right? I could take that blueprint and go through that whole process we started with, and I could still manually copy and paste that in here. But if you had multiple clients, or if you had to do 5 of these in one day, you could have Operator managing, building these out for you on one screen. And then you could be doing something else on another, and then just making sure that it's staying on track. A lot of ways you could approach this.
Thanks, Darby.
This episode is brought to you by Gamma. New medium for presenting ideas.
Where's your affiliate link? And see the report of Gamma.
Yeah, go to Gamma. If you guys want to sign up for Gamma, if you're not, they are an official sponsor of the Scale with AI Summit. You can use the code AI Summit at gamma.app to get 1 month of Pro absolutely free. So you can try it out yourself. And Gamma recently had an update where you can generate up to 60 pages on a report, as we're doing right now. It used to be capped at 30. You can turn one of these presentations and one of these documents, I believe, into a website also, where you can put a branded domain on it, and then you can send people directly to a domain, which is, if you go to scalewithaisummit.com, that website is built on Gamma.
Nice. Thanks, Darby. I'm going to hop off. I'll see you on the official link. And look out so I can see you on the other call. Thanks so much. That was great.
You bet. See you.
Thank you, Darby.
No problem. My pleasure. Rolling. What's up, Michael? Perfect timing to join us. You can just tune in, give an Operator a spin.
Oh, cool.
We're just using Operator to basically create a MarketSauce portal report, and then uploading that from this Texas hot tub man, and then creating a report inside of Gamma. And did it mostly hands off. Just a demo. How to use Operator with MarketSauce and get some market research done. I think this would be a cool mix for presenting reports or research or strategies with clients. So basically what we were covering was going from the MarketSauce studio and getting just a website, for example, hot tub sales installation. And then Operator went through and created a blueprint, submitted an order. That order was completed. It went through and copied and pasted that content, and then went into Gamma. And then we had a little bit of human in the loop. We're making sure that it was generating a set amount of pages and that it was doing the right design and making sure that it was following the design template that we wanted. But then Gamma took over the reins from there. And so I think like the takeaway with this demonstration for anyone that's watching through and seeing how this is working is like how Operator might have some limitations, isn't perfect, but is also communicating with different AI systems. And I think we're going to see more and more of that as agents become even more of a commonplace thing. There is obvious human in the loop, like areas that like you're forced to be involved, like logging in, confirming on Gmail that this is you, that there's a human operating it. It's not like allowing me to just go and buy stocks or take payments necessarily. But if I've already bought credits in my MarketSauce account and I'm logging into my MarketSauce account, it will use those credits. And so even if it's taking you whatever amount of time it is to even run and operate and create these blueprints yourself, this will help with operating that system to get the MarketSauce blueprints going so that, at the end of the day, less time that you're spending on just doing the tasks to get these reports generated and more time thinking strategically and coming at it from like a high level review and saying, okay, cool, this is the strategy that we want to execute on here. This is the game plan that we're going to go with. This is wrong. We don't want to go that route, but less mental calories on maneuvering around your screen and doing this type of thing. And I also think it's very enabling for people that are going to be in your team that would be doing this for clients. One of the examples I was working with yesterday a bit was in the hackathon this past weekend. My project was I'm working on like a chief of staff executive assistant that I want to be able to operate with by just calling and having my voice conversations, be able to extract ideas, create content for communication, for marketing campaigns, for delegation, for whatever it might be. But that transcript could be taken and then again used as a reference point to create a blueprint, to create then a landing page around something like that. So a lot of cool possibilities with it. And I think that this just being like like they say, this is the worst it's ever going to be. It's already like wild how much it can do on its own end. But then imagine the leap between where it's at now and what updates we're going to see in the next few months with agents in general. But at the end of the day, it's what value are you providing for services for your clients? And to me, it's like an upgrade here from MarketSauce. If you want to use Gamma with it, is like, cool. Blueprints, they're great. Information, solid. If a blueprint's good, now you need to present it to your client. How are you going to do that? You can go and take a bunch of time and go do it yourself in PowerPoint or create your own Canva presentation, or you could use something like Gamma and then just boom, like just know what tool makes sense when and where to use it. And then you show up on a call, your client's, holy crap, how long did you spend on this? Or this is really well articulated. I can understand the content, the concepts that you're breaking down for me here. Sometimes it's harder to get that across if you're just showing someone a text heavy Google document. But if it takes you half the time that it would take you normally as a consultant, or a fraction of that even, then helps you get more wins for your clients and streamlines the operations and efficiency on your own team to be able to create this type of content.
It's cool too, because you can probably personalize it for your audience too. That's the one thing I remember when I worked for a large financial company years ago, and I created this really detailed report of an email marketing campaign that went to millions of consumers. And the person that presented it to just said, how many emails were sent? I'm like, it's not direct mail. I'm like, we can measure all these different sections. And I had an overall index. I had the different segments sub-indexed, and the report I provided was way too complicated for what she was looking for at the time. And I didn't realize that I had it overcomplicated. I took a couple steps back and I personalized the report to make it really simple. A year or two later, somebody that was working on that team said, hey, I want to see that detailed report you came up with, because I didn't quite understand it, but I know it's going to give us a lot better return. So that'd be neat to be able to use Gamma or like part of that GPT to personalize it based on the audience you're serving.
Totally. Yeah. Information overload isn't necessarily going to help your end goal. It might be good to have the information, but being selective about what is being presented so it's useful at that time isn't going to overwhelm your clients and makes it more digestible. And once you have it, you can always come back to it and build on it more. And especially if there's tools like Gamma that you can just recreate a presentation with a different angle or a different design style versus doing all that manually.
Yeah, totally.
Michael, I got to hop and prep for another call here. Yeah,
Awesome.
we'll be at noon Central Time each week for these calls. So,
each week. All right, great. Sounds good. Thanks, Darby.
yep. Thanks, Michael. Cheers.
Goodbye.
Ciao. Be back here same time next week, going over some MarketSauce in our office hours. Stay tuned. See y'all on the other side. Cheers.